Good morning, everybody. My name is Pedro Carneiro, and I am on the board of the Fundação para a Ciência e Tecnologia, Foundation for Science and Technology, and I'm here on behalf of the Secretary of State of Science to salute you and to wish you all a fruitful and successful event. Your event, it's about education, employment, and entrepreneurship, which is which are clearly three of the main objectives of the scientific policy of FCT. FCT, as you probably know, is the funding agency for science and research in Portugal. We basically want to raise the bar in terms of the competitiveness of our scientific research and scientific work produced by our scientists. And we do this through a series of programs. Basically, I will draw your attention, and you will have to bear with me for the next 10 minutes, where I will talk a little bit about how we go about to fulfill these three main topics of your conference: education, employment, and entrepreneurship. To be true, I mean, we would very much like to have another E, which is excellence, or another C, which is competitiveness, and which is what I think we lack now, or where we can move on and move forward as far as our science in Portugal is concerned. We do this, we promote science by acting in 5 or 6 pillars. We act in the area of people, we support ideas, we support institutions. We very much would like to increase our activity in the area of knowledge transfer. We also help our activity in all the areas through the international cooperation where we represent Portugal, and we also deal with information society topics. We want to become an agency which is known as promoting transparency and quality in evaluation. We want to become and to help our researchers become a state of art in terms of infrastructure, in terms of everything they do regarding science. I will just now show you a couple of activities whereby we transform these pillars of activity into real actions. In terms of people, we support something like 15,000 researchers in Portugal, both through contracts, direct contracts. We have opened last year a new area of relationship between FCT and the scientists in Portugal, whereby we want to build and create around a group of around 1,000 fully dedicated researchers with the seal FCT up until 2016. We have started last year with 160. This year we hope to be able to sign contracts with another 250, and this will go on year on year up to around 1,000. We also have PhD programs which have been around for many years, fortunately, but basically what we want to do is to again guarantee transparency and evaluation throughout the range of activities which are being promoted with the schools in Portugal, both domestic and also with programs related with international activities, and especially with programs which bring into the area of science the companies, the industry. So this is really one of the areas which we want to build further in the future. This year, again, this is a multi-year activity. We had last year the first call, and we hope to have year on year, every year another call to build up this area of activity. We also have, as you know, an yearly call for grants, both on PhD and post-PhD students, which constitute most of the 15,000 people we are supporting and building up in terms of scientific labor or scientific resource we have available to bring about the excellence we are talking about. In terms of ideas, we have around 3,300 projects alive this year. Again, we have various typologies of projects: exploratory, highly resourced infrastructure. I mean, you are all aware of that. Just to make sure that really all the scientists have the opportunity to put into practice their brave ideas, their new ideas, both in collaboration with academia or companies. This is really an area where we have seen in the past few years a lot of activity and a lot of growth. Just for you to have an idea, we have around 430 million euro of support being implemented as we speak. All this doesn't happen in the blue sky. It's done in collaboration with the scientific and the technology system. We have around 330 laboratories and research units scattered around the country, both within universities or on their own. And again, here, the main activity we will have this year is a new evaluation which will take place as of the second half of the year to produce results hopefully during the end of 2014 or the latest in 2015. Another very important area of activity, as I've mentioned, is the technology transfer. And this is really one of our main priorities in the Foundation of Science and Technology. And why? Because we've been, the country has been investing a lot in terms of people, in terms of infrastructure, and now it's time really that we see some impact. And as you probably are aware, we have just recently published a very interesting study of the situation of science and the results of the scientific activities in the past few years. And what we have discovered is that really we do have a system which is working. It's not a perfect system, obviously, but now the next big thing that has to be implemented, has to be achieved, is that we make sure that we produce impact, that we give back to society really the fruits, the results of the huge investment which has been done in the past 20 years, the very good work which has been developed throughout the last 20 years by various governments. And we do this with the help of experts. We do this through a series of activities, some of which we are fully aware because we are talking about MIT Portugal, Carnegie Mellon, UTEN, we are talking about Harvard Medical School, we are talking about Fraunhofer, UT Austin, where really we have programs designed in order to focus not only in terms of education, which is also very important, but especially in terms of bringing about activities which could have an impact in terms of employment, in terms of economical activity which bring about development. Just a few words on an initiative which we hope we will be able to implement towards the end of this year. It's really really focused on what I was talking about, and it's basically the idea of creating an international network of incubators so that your ideas can have a broader range of scope, can impact much larger markets, and can have really a payback much faster. It's basically focused on, as I told you, international building up an international